If you are a parent of a teenage driver, you know the stress you deal with.
Now add in the dangers of texting and driving. It is a very scary combination. So how do you get through to them to make them stop? Laura Adams from driversed.com joins us now. Welcome to the show. Thank you for having this very important conversation and sharing your knowledge. Let's just be honest, a lot of parents need to hear this conversation too. I have been guilty of this myself, and I know a lot of people don't want to admit that, but
absolutely. It is a problem for all of us. Unfortunately, 10 people die a day due to text-related crashes. So this is affecting teens and adults. But of course, teenage drivers are a little more vulnerable, right? Oh, yeah. They have a lot more kind of temptations, and they're kind of just learning to drive to begin with. So they have a lot of issues that they need to overcome and master in the car.
For sure.
You know, I think in schools there's been a lot of discussion about not drinking and driving, but being distracted is just as dangerous in many cases.
It really is. About 60% of crashes involving teens do involve phones. They involve distracted driving. Phones are not the only distraction out there, but they're a big one. There's also eating, putting on makeup, and all those other things that we do, but the phones are becoming more and more of a problem every year.
So what are your top tips for parents at home to try and help their kids stop texting behind the wheel?
Yeah, number one, be a good role model. You know, you've got to show the right types of behavior. It's super important. You might also think about limiting their time behind the wheel with a phone, just saying, hey, we're not going to allow you to have a phone while you're driving, and except in, you know, rare instances. A contract maybe that you create with them that says, hey, this is what's going to happen.
What does that look like? What are you going to put in the contract?
Yeah, you're going to say, hey, if you do this, these are the expectations that we have, and if you violate these expectations, these are the consequences. They sign it, and then everybody feels a little bit more kind of, you know, committed to that. Of course, education is key. Getting some type of driver education. Mom and dad are good teachers, but maybe not always the best teacher. Using a course like driversed.com is going to teach kids a foundation of safe driving, giving them those habits for life, teaching them what distracted driving really means. And then there's some apps. We can turn technology from the problem, from the culprit, into the cure if you're smart about it.
What are some good apps that we should download as parents to help our teens be safe out there on the road? Yeah,
most of the carriers out there have an app like AT&T Drive Mode. So that's great for Android users. If you are not an Android user, one of my favorites is called Safe to Save. It's a little hard to say, but Safe to Save. That's smart because it allows you to accrue points for not using your phone while driving. So you can accrue it almost gamifies the process, and then you can actually use those points at your favorite restaurants and businesses.
So it actually can tell if you're not on your phone while you're in the car?
Absolutely, and these will begin kicking in about like 10, 15 miles an hour. So as you begin driving, they're working in the background, monitoring what you do. They can silence those incoming alerts, phone calls, you know, making sure that you are not getting those distractions while you're driving.
Wow, technology is crazy. I just cannot believe that an app can do that, but that can really save some lives, I'm sure.
Absolutely. So look into it. You know, there are a lot out there, and depending on the carrier that you use, each of them typically has something that's available. So do a little homework. It really can pay off.
And I think it's important to note that in our state now we have laws against texting and driving. And so there's even more of an initiative and a push for you to put that phone down if you're a teenager or if you are an adult.
That's right. Yeah, don't get caught texting and driving. It's going to cost you money. Points on your license can make your insurance rates go up, so it's not something that you want to happen.
Thank you so much for being here, Laura. Great information. You can read more tips and learn all about the apps that we talked about by going to driversed.com. Having a third party taking that emotion out of it is great.